Now let's have a look at how we open files in Audacity. The place on the internet where you found these tutorial videos, you'll also find a file called demomuscles.mp3. And you need to download that file and put it in a folder or put it on your desktop, somewhere where you can find it. If you notice, I have it open here in front of me. Now, to open a file in Audacity, all you need to do is drag and drop. And what I mean by that is you click on the file and you hold the mouse button down. You see, so I've actually grabbed that icon and I pull it over and drop it on Audacity. And there you go, it opens up automatically. Now that's the easiest way to open up a file in Audacity, but as with any application, you can also go to File and use the Open command under the File menu. But I find that's a little bit more cumbersome. I just like to drag and drop. But that's up to you. Now that we've got this file open, let's have a listen to it.
Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay, so you'll notice there that there's some sound at the beginning of me counting in, and there's some sound at the end, some rattling and some other background noises that we don't want. So what we're going to learn in this lesson is how to actually take those sounds out, how to edit your sound, how to edit your music. So the first thing we're going to do is learn how to select. Now, we're going to select part of the song that we want to delete. Now, first of all, I'll show you how to do selecting first. We hold down our mouse key, our mouse button, and while holding it down, we slide our mouse. You see that? I slid the mouse, and I selected a whole big chunk of sound at the beginning. So now I want to zoom in on that so I can see it a little clearer. And the way you do that is you go up to this button right here. And as with all the buttons on Audacity, when you slide your mouse over the button, it will tell you, a little window will pop up, and it'll tell you what that means, what the button is for. And this one, of course, is Fit. It says Fit Selection in Window. So I've just made a selection, and now it's going to fit that, blow it up into the window. There you go. So now if I push play, I'll hear only that selection. It'll stop at the end of my selection. So let's check that out.
Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4.
And you notice it stopped right at the end of the selection. So if we can see here, there's some blank space at the beginning we don't want, and that is 1, 2, 3, 4 of me counting. So I know that around right here, where I've just put the line, right here is about where the music starts. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to select all the sound I don't want. And again, I'm holding my mouse key down as I'm sliding. I'm sliding all the way over to the beginning and let go. So now this is a sound I don't want. Now the way you get rid of it, easy. Just hit the delete key on your computer. And there you go, it's deleted. And now, if we push play from the very beginning, I'll rewind, and I'll push play, and you'll hear that all that unwanted sound at the beginning is now going to be gone. Okay, and I push stop then, because we don't need to hear the whole song. But that's nice and tidy now. At the beginning, there's no garbage at the beginning. So now let's scroll over to the end of the song. I'm just sliding the scrolling bar down at the bottom all the way to the end. And you'll notice that there is some noise at the end we don't want as well. So once again, I'm going to click somewhere near the end of the sound that I want, and I'm going to hold my mouse button down. I'm going to slide all the way over to the end. And then I'm once again going to click the button that's called Fit Selection in Window. And that blows up that so we can have a look. And once again, if I push play, I'll hear only my selection. So let's hit play and have a listen. Okay, so we heard a last little toot from the tin whistle, and then we heard some noises and stuff. So once again, we're going to select the part we don't want. So I'm going to move a little bit away from my last bit of sound, maybe a little bit over, and I'm going to select all the way to the end. Again, I'm holding my mouse key down and sliding. And then, once again, to delete, you hit the delete key on your computer. And there you go. Now it's gone. So now let's go back. Let's go right for the beginning of the song. I'll hit rewind. Let's go right to the beginning and listen to the entire piece now that we've got the end and the beginning tidied up. Much nicer. Now that you've learned how to do some basic editing in Audacity, we're going to have a look at how to fade music in and fade music out using Audacity. Now, to fade out, what we have to do first is we need to select the part of the music that we want to be fading. Okay, so the ending is usually a good place for that. So I'm going to select a part of the music and go to the end. Now, this might not musically make much sense because I'm going to be cutting the music off probably before it needs to be cut off, but this is just for the purpose of this demonstration. Now, you'll notice that I selected by holding my mouse key down. And now if I go up to Effects or Effect, it's going to give you a whole pile of effects there that you can use. And you can play with these. Some of them are very useful. And we're going to go down to Fade Out. Now watch what happens when I click that button. See that? It lowered the volume. You see it made the waveform a little lower. So now let's have a listen to what we just did. You'll notice that the music faded down. Let's go back a little further into the piece and listen to it again. You see, so it nice and tidily, it faded the music out. Now let's try the same thing with fading in. I'm going to select a piece at the beginning, once again by sliding my mouse with the button held down. And I'm going to go up to Effect. I'm going to go down to Fade In. And you see what happened? You can tell visually from the waveform that it starts off at silence and gets louder and louder. So now let's have a listen to that. I'm going to rewind to the beginning and let's listen to the whole piece now with our fade in and our fade out. Now, not bad. Now that may not make musical sense at the end there, especially where we kind of started fading out a little early. But you can use your own judgment there. So that's fading in and fading out. Okay, the last thing we're going to talk about in this video is how to save your music in Audacity. Now there are two ways to save music in Audacity. The first way is for when you're working on a project and you're not completed the project. So in that, as you're working on it, you're going to want to be making changes and you're going to want to leave things open so that you're not locked in to any final product. And the way you do that is by doing Save Project. Okay, and that's under the File menu, as I just clicked, and you'll see Save Project. Now, we'll click that one, and you'll see we'll get a warning screen, and that tells us basically what I just said to you, that Audacity, when you save it as a project, it will allow you to make changes and do all kinds of things with it, but most other applications can't open up an Audacity project, only Audacity. So we'll click OK and move on. And we'll save this file as demomuscles.aup, as you can see down here in the file name window. And I'll click Save. Now what that did, it saved all my settings, all the things I've done, my slider settings, and everything within Audacity. It saved all those settings. So when I come back, I can start right where I left off. Now let's say, for example, you're finished your project, and you want to put it into a form that you can give to somebody else, or you can put on a CD or put on a website. Then you're going to want to do a different sort of save. You're going to want to do an export. And you go to the File menu again, and you'll do Export as WAV. Now, WAV files can be played on all kinds of different computers. You can give them to other people to listen to, and they're really easy to work with. So, and that's how you do it. And then you just give it a name, demomuscles.wav, and you click Save, and it will save the file then. Now, some of you may have seen when you go to the File menu, there's an Export as MP3 option there as well. And you may say, oh, I know what MP3s are. I download those on the internet. Well, you can also export as an MP3, but in order to do that, there are some changes you have to make in Audacity. So if you want to learn how to export as an MP3, then there's another video, another tutorial that that's there available for you to watch, showing how to export MP3s in Audacity. So you can watch that video to learn how to do that.